Narayana. On Karo Maharaj recording. Om salutations. Welcome. Remind us ourselves of the 12 Vyaktitwas, 6 sources. Sources are our regular study of Shastra. Sources are our being in contact with our gurus. Sources are our upasana to the devatas. Sources are our prarthana to the mother, our sharanagati to the Ishvara, our anusandhana of the truth. How do we do when we do? We have to plan according to our own. What is our schedule? According to that, we have to plan for ourselves. But then, in all these 18 things, as much seriously, sincerely, we can become busy, so much it is good for us. Let there be Shantayukta involvement in all the 11 Vyaktitva managements of Prerana, of Parishrama, of Sadhakatva, of Shrotrutva, of Jignasu, Mumukshu, Shishya, Bhakta, Viragi, and Dharma Sthavaka, Loka Sevaka. Welcome for the study of the Shwethashwathara Upanishad. Shankar Bhagavan gave so long Sambandha Bhashya because we have abided by our commitment to study Upanishad through his Bhashya, we are going through it. And it is informative, inspirational, and so from various sources we are getting the inspiring data. Therefore, it is not isolated one source only for the theme of Upanishads. Many Upanishads, Puranas, Itihasas, Smriti Granthas unanimously are talking about this is the way for moksha. And in various periods of history by various Mahatmas. तो अलग अलग समयों में अलग अलग महात्माओं के द्वारा अलग अलग उपनिषद श्रुति स्मृति पुराण के द्वारा एक ही तत्व मोक्ष हेतु बताया जा रहा है. That should give us more clarity, more single pointedness in our pursuit. That way, this Sambandha Bhashya Adhyanam is so useful, good, beautiful. That's why he gave, we are studying. Now, in that Brahma Purana, in those few shlokas, how sequentially, clearly, Mukti Marga is put in front of us, we are seeing it. We'll continue. Before that, our Sankalpas, our Prarthana, and before that, like every day, 1 or 2, 3 minutes, just to refresh ourselves. In the sincere attempt of studying Shastras, in our busy schedule of doing our various sadhanas, sometimes we may forget there's always a chance that what we are doing is for what purpose. So it is almost every day we have to again renew or refresh. What exactly has to be achieved? Because what is to be achieved is important, but because for that only whatever is done is important. क्या पाना है वही important है, उसके अनुसार ही क्या करना है. So our whole thing is what? Goal is from the Vishaya Anubhava to the Atma Anubhava we have to come. isn't it? From Vishaya Vasanas to Atma Vasanas, we have to come into. From the Vishaya Dhyana to the Atma Dhyana, we have to come to. From Vishaya Chintana to the Atma Chintana, we have to come to. From the Vishaya involvement into Atma involvement, we have to be. Thus, from the Vishaya created samsara to the Atmanubhuti giving moksha, we have to enter into. If this is not remembered, then correct way our sadhanas won't happen. It will be vague. Then something we do and we get satisfied that we are doing something. But we should not do something. We have to do the thing to get that thing, having gained which nothing more is remains to gain. So once in a while, the refresh button, Davake, exactly what I am doing, is it giving the result which I have to get? Isn't it? Otherwise, as the Moha Maya puts us into the worldliness, equally it has a power to slowly make us forget exactly what we have to achieve. The moment what is to be achieved, main thing we forget about, then something else as if becomes important. In a very micro, simple form, it just happens. Then all our pursuits get turned towards that. This is how the outer Maya, inner Moha work. Therefore, what I have to achieve is important. Then, keeping that always in mind, therefore, what is to be done to achieve that? Isn't it? So, Vishayukta Jivana to Atma Jivana, Samsara to the Moksha. Isn't it? So, to very important one is Upadhi Tadatmya Jivana to Nirupadhika Atma. And remember for this, ki the Atman is always Nirupadhika. In the Nirupadhikatva only, the Atman is not finite, not limited, infinite and unlimited. Therefore, not bound, always free. Because of the Upadhi only, the finitude has come, limitations have come, bondages have come. To be more clear, whatever miseries we are feeling now, whatever bondages we are feeling now, whatever limitations we are feeling now, whatever suffocations, distresses, unhappy things, whichever we are experiencing, definitely fears, excitements, anxieties, all of them are because of Upadhi only. In the Nirupadhika Atma, none of these are possible, isn't it? So, if this is very clearly understood through the study of Shastra and our own observation, like Bhagwan Sri Rama was doing, Sri Nachiketa has done and put it in front of us. They all have understood the suffering, the bondage, the miseries are at the Upadhi level only. And they will continue as long as we are stuck to the Upadhis. The Nirupadhika Paramatma Anubhuti only, giver of the moksha. The more we are remembering, therefore becoming stronger in this understanding, then our sadhanas become to the point. Therefore, every moment, am I doing sadhana? Yes. Is it taking me away from the upadhi, tadatmya, towards the atma tadatmya? This is the question. Then do. How many minutes or hours per day I am trying this? Even when I am busy otherwise, am I careful not to get entangled in the upadhi tadatmya? Then questions. What do you mean by upadhi tadatmya? How it becomes stronger? Which are the thoughts, words, actions, involvements because of which upadhis or me is becoming stronger Nirupadika Atma is totally neglected. This vigorous thinking is to be achieved by us. This what refreshes us. Every day इस तरह थोड़ा समय सोचना है. Then be on the path. Like everywhere. Just like that you don't enter the car, take it out of garage and just drive. You are in the seat, a minute you wait and see. कहाँ जाना है, कैसे जाना है. All the कैसे जाना depends only on कहाँ जाना. Isn't it? बिना that कहाँ जाना, कैसे जाना का there is no meaning. In our spiritual life also, the kaha jana has to be always remembered. Then kaise jana. And the entire Upanishadic literature, Shruti Smriti Purana, are talking that only. Here is danger. Here is freedom. This way of your life binds you. This way of life liberates you. Bondage is limitations. Bondage is limitation. Limitations are caused by Upadhi Yukta Jivan. Liberation comes when we are infinite. Infinitude is the nature of the Atman, but not experienced because of Upadhi. Listen, Upadhi. We have only three problems. Technical, listen carefully. They are called as Vyadhis, they are called as Adhis, they are called as Samadhis. These three are the Upadhi Yukta bondage. The Vyadhis come to the body. Identified with it, we become Vyadhigrasta. In that add everything. Janma, Jara, Roga, सब. ये उपाधि का है और मेरा नहीं है आत्मा का. Then second is Adi. Adi is all tensions, distresses, miseries, fears, anxieties. They all are at the Sukshma Upadhi level called as Antakarana. That also Upadhi. I have nothing to do with that. But we are identified. Therefore, the problems of Upadhi are taken as ours. The second Upadhi, Sukshma Upadhi, and the Adhis are the problems there. Third is the Karana Upadhi, called as the Samadhi is there. Vasana Rupena, everything is there. That also is not me. I am even witness to the Vasanas, the thoughts, the actions, etc. They're all there in the nature Prakriti. Is it not in world some people trouble us? Physically, mentally, the more we go away from them, the troubles go away. In the same way, enlarge, expand करें इस thought को. उपाधि तादात्म्य or nearness is the cause of all suffering. Going away from the upadhis and near to the self is the way to moksha. First of all, we have to be convinced about this. कि सोपाधिक जीवन is बंधयुक्त and दुख जीवन, nirupadhika atma जीवन is moksha. About this first we have to gain conviction. That requires lot of study, lot of manana chintana. That's what the purpose of all our studying Shastra. लेकिन इसमें समाधान है, इधर समस्या है. If this is not thoroughly understood, then a mixture happens. Samadhana is taken as samasya. That is why we don't become spiritual. That is why we don't attend classes and all. And samasya appears to be samadhana. Therefore, we are always in the worldly involvement. Everywhere, like a physical disease. If you are not aware of what removes the disease and what increases the disease, I inadvertently do those things by which the disease grows, not the health gained. You have to be careful there. ये बीमारी कैसे कम होएगी, क्योंकि बढ़ रही है. जो बढ़ रहा है जिस कारण से दैट हैज बी ड्रॉप ना, जिससे कम होगा उठ करना चाहिए. इन द सेम वे स्पिरिचुअल डिसीज का भी कारण क्या है, हेल्थ का कारण क्या है, जानकर disease causing things we have to drop, health causing things we have to keep doing. So we started thinking कि first refresh button दबाओ. What we have to achieve? We have to achieve the Anantatva, the Shantatva, the Sukhitva, the Bhayarahitya, they are all in the Atman, not in the world. Therefore, Vishayanabhav to Atmanabhava, Vishayavasana to Atmavasana, Vishayadhyana to the Atmadhyana, Vishaya Chintan to Atma Chintana, Vishaya involvement to Atma involvement. That Atma involvement is spirituality. Why this is so? Because we go into Vishayas because of Upadhis. Therefore, Upadhi Tadatma is the cause for the Vishaya Dhyana, and Vishaya Dhyana Chintana involvement is cause for samsara. Therefore, if you want to come out of the Vishayas, the cause of them is Upadhi, we have to come out of the Upadhis. Therefore, Swapadhika to the Nirupadhika. This is general understanding. Go more particularly, one Upadhi, Sharira Upadhi, Indriya Upadhi, Mana Upadhi, Buddhi Upadhi, Ahankara Upadhi, Vasana Upadhi. Isn't it? Again, so many इत्यंत. At the Mana Upadhi level में again अहंकार और मन बुद्धि अहंकार सेट अंतःकरण. उस उपाधि के अनुसार again variety of our upadhis, professional ahankaras, etc. Again, the Sharira Upadhi, the other Upadhis of the relativity. Not one, not two. Now you understood the meaning of how many shackles or chains we have put on ourselves to get bound. Today we will see in that quotations, we only get into that. Therefore, we only have to get out of it. It is not like the lion, tiger caged or birds are caught in the snare, that only the hunter can remove them. You know, it is we entered, therefore, with our efforts, we can come out. Guru God helps us, Shastras help us, but we can come out. That was in Aitareya Upanishad. Vamadevji taught us. Hundreds of the iron chained cages. I was there in so many lives, but now in the womb of my mother only, like that Kshena, the vulture, that eagle, I just broke open all of them. Now I am free. Jarasa niradiyam, Shena iva, Shatama ayesi puraha. In that way. So just refreshing. Let's not live even spiritual life mechanically or in a monotonous way. कि आए क्लास में चले गए, बैठे पूजा रूम में घंटी बजाई, बैठ गए जप करे बस 5 मिनट. दिस आर ऑल कहते हैं ना नाम के वास्ते करना है कि नहीं. लाइक वी डू व्हेन आवर गुरुस कम और वी गो टू देम. दिल में वो डीप डिवोशन रिकॉग्नाइजेशन ऑफ देयर ग्रेटनेस इज नॉट देयर. सो नाम के वास्ते ऊपर से नमस्कार मत्था टेको पहला गो वी डू इट, बट अंदर कुछ है ही नहीं उसका. सेम वी डू विथ वाइफ और चिल्ड्रन. व्हेन वी से आई लव यू, we say just vocally. What is the meaning of love? We don't know. दिल से होता नहीं. Why do you love? What do you see for loving? What is the meaning of love? We don't know what casually we say. We don't know who is the Lord seated in the temple, what is his power, what he can give, what I must ask, how I must ask. None of them are there. Intellectual lethargy. But we go to temple, we do the parikrama, we give that dakshina to Panditji with full ego and feel others सबसे ज़्यादा मैंने दिया and take that prasad you cup. कुछ नहीं है उसमें साधना. In the same way, let us not make our sadhanas purposeless, therefore fruitless. If the purpose is clear, keeping that purpose in mind when we do, achieving that purpose is called fruitfulness. सफल होना चाहिए हमारा, निष्फल नहीं. So all bondages are in upadhis in jagatika vyavahara. Jagatika vyavahara with upadhis. The one who does is this limited jiva. In the infinite Atman, there is no jagatika vyavahara taken as samsara. The Atman may project the world, he may play in that, but he never misses his essential self. Like Gurudev, he did lot of work, but never missed his self. Like Adi Shankara Bhagavan, like Bhagavan Krishna, we saw yesterday in Narayana, the Krishna Leelas started. Putana Moksham, we have seen. He is doing that work outside, but he is fully aware. He is the self, like a driver. You know, the one who is seated next to him, the owner, he may be asking some questions. Driver answers them, but he is fully aware of his driving and on the road. So too, a Jivan Mukta is fully aware that he is the Atman. Then he will just answer as his driver is aware of the road, yet he just answers what they ask. Isn't it? In that way, slowly we have to evolve to that level. It is not how many Shastras we are studying alone is important. Classes we are attending, isn't it? What's important is, am I aware of my main thing to be achieved? वो उधर फिसल गए ना, फिर बाकी सब कर रहे हैं लेकिन किस लिए कर रहे हैं नहीं पता. Then it becomes mechanical. Once thing becomes mechanical, then it's not called sadhana. Consciously done alone is sadhana. And consciously keeping what is to be achieved in mind, isn't it? So refresh kare button हमारा. So because of Vishayas, we are bound. Because of Upadhis, we are bound in the Vishayas. That life is Jiva Bhava. To come out and discover the Atmanubhuti, for that we are doing. Isn't it? The delusions कैसे powerful होते हैं ना, कि वो हमारे लक्ष्य को भुलवाते हैं. Out of fear that if I don't live at the Upadhi level, I may not be happy. I may lose something. वो क्या होता है फिर ऊपर ऊपर कर रहे हैं साधना बट नॉट डीप. The very peculiar things happen in human mind. Deeply vasanas only are there. Deeply the desires to live at the upadhi level, seeking the outer bhoga alone are there. फिर भी उसी में कन्विक्शन है अभी भी. And always the mind longing for those sukhas, those bhogas of the worldliness, not Paramatma. Therefore, therefore, the worldly life is very sincere. Spiritual sadhanas are very superficial. Sadhanas are by compulsion and samsara is by choice. A little problem comes, sadhanas we give up. कुछ भी हो जाए, we will not give samsara up. Isn't it? This is how the deep innate things we have to remove. वो उसके लिए फिर पूरा हमारा मन इसी में लगे रहना है. लगे रहना है तो only two things in our life, no third. Whatever minimum dharmas we have to do in life, we do. Other than that, whole day is consciously spent only for this. And again, while doing so, the natural habitual forgetfulness is then the prarabdhas attacking us, isn't it? The knowledge forgotten, ignorance predominant, becoming predominant, they keep coming. They just won't go away just like that, isn't it? Like some Ziddi people in the world, they won't just leave it. You have cheated me of some this much of money, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 50 lakh. I may be having 10 crore, but I will not leave you. I'll file a case. कुछ भी करके कुछ जिद्दी लोग होते हैं. Know that subtle inner quarrel that's happening between that the IMF and this Baba Ramdev and all. They are jealous so much that his products have become so famous. They file case and they make the court summon him, such a great Sant Mahatma, and apologize and all. And to balance it, the court tells IMF also, अब तुम भी apology करो. They're all internal things. They don't want the, you know, the India, the Sanatan Dharma और आयुर्वेद से लेकर कुछ भी ग्रो नहीं होना है. Very terrible fighting that it is. That Indian Medical Federation, whatever you call it, इतना खुंदक जलस है उनको कि इनके प्रोडक्ट हो रहे फेमस. Isn't it? They won't leave. They are behind only. बेचारा है बाबा जी, अब क्या करें. माफी मांगा भी टुडे 25 crores fine on him. But the Mahatmas, they know it's a part of total prarabdha and individual. It has nothing to do with my vision of serving. Every guru, he knows the disciples may or may not understand me, depending on their own maturities and our mutual gross prarabdha. Not the self ko to prarabdha hota nahi. Therefore, he doesn't mind any behavior of disciple, goes on guiding, teaching. A true guru is like that. You know, disciples only they insult or they lose the faith, they become irregular. ये सब नाटक उनके. He says चल ठीक है, that's over, you be continuous now. पढ़ो, आगे बढ़ो. Hmm. But otherwise, that thing, nobody spares anybody in this world. I gave this example to say that the prarabdhas in us, they won't leave us. वो कहते हम केस डालेंगे ही, आखिरी दम तक लड़ेंगे. वो ये बताने के लिए वो एग्जाम्पल्स दिए. Isn't it? Even though we are sincere, we'll be forced to face all these problems. See that our present government sincerely काम कर रहे, but they are forced to face the pressures, problems. But still, the point is, overwhelmed by the problem, we forget the goal. That is where is our genius. That is where the Shuddha Sattva Guna, gained by the upasanas, gained by the right way of living, helps us. Required there. अच्छा ये प्रारब्ध हो रहा है, लेकिन ये तो मेरा लक्ष्य है, लक्ष्य नहीं छूटना है. तो लक्ष्य के लिए जो करना है करूंगा ही. A very bad example I am telling, just like the terrorists and thieves. When they are caught, interrogated, punished, they go through that. At the same time, again they think कि जैसा हमको फ्री मिलेगा वो बाहर आएंगे, फिर से हमें चोरी करेंगे, टेररिस्ट का काम करेंगे. That fellow thinks like that only. टेररिस्ट कहता है वो कि even if they hang me, I will be born again I will do the same. अब देखो, in the same way. I've just told you, it's a very bad negative example for positive thing. Ki let the prarabdha trouble me, whatever. But what I have to do for my sadhana, I have to. Okay. And one last thought is what? A helpful thing in spirituality is what? On the name of spirituality again, self-centered we become. In that self-centeredness, importance is given to upadhis. With upadhi importance, as a jiva, we struggle only. One of the antidote is what? Start thinking for the total, praying for the total, doing something for the total, working, not some relations around us, for the total. उससे क्या है, ये इंडिविजुअलिटी का जो नेवर एंडिंग बर्डन होता है ना, उससे हम कम हो जाते हैं. Isn't it? Like when I have to serve someone at home, it is so frustrating to serve someone. That proves that how much ego-centered we are, individual-centered we are. With upadhi tadatmya, of course. So a matured person should know that this service compulsion Bhagavan has given for me to come out of I, the individuality. If this is understood and if we really practice it, the art, then we will be reduced in our ego. Otherwise, on the name of sadhana, again, ego, self-centeredness grows. ये भी एक peculiar माया होता है, उसको भी समझना पड़ता है. So in short, refresh button all the time in the chitta. This is what I have to achieve. That's what for I am living, and I am doing everything or not doing something. वो वाला अगर लगातार मन में मानो, like a child's mentality. He is so excited when you take him to some water sports or some exhibition. उसके मन में इतना चलता रहता है कि वहां जाऊंगा, वो खेलूंगा वगैरह. That child's mentality of this is what I have to experience, the nirupadhika atmanubhuti. For that I am doing this sadhana. Let me do it more intensely, more deeply. Let all struggles, toughnesses, impediments, obstacles inspire me to do more. Like an army jawan. Isn't that? उनको जितने ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होते हैं उतना वो लोग इंस्पायर्ड होते हैं. Like the Vanaras for Ramji. The more obstacles they came, the more inspired they were. Because the love for the goal in them, the love for the country is so much in these army people that वो चढ़ेंगे, चट्टान चढ़ेंगे, समुद्र उतरेंगे, पहाड़ चढ़ेंगे, जंगल में जाएंगे. अरे, and you and I cannot go night time to our end of the street also. But they, far away from family, known people, somewhere they are deployed, uncertain about next moment. Isn't it? क्या बढ़िया है उनका दिल. ऐसा वाला हमारा होना चाहिए. Honoras are like that. वो किष्किंधा छोड़े अपने पत्नी बच्चों को छोड़कर कहाँ पीछे पड़े हो राम जी के सेवा करते हुए. The more Rakshasas came, the more inspired. The more from the Rakshasas they were wounded, the more they were vigorous. You know, that mentality in sadhana. देखो, from these high lofty way of living compared to that, at what a lowest pathetic level we are, that we struggle to maintain our regularity of classes. We struggle to maintain our small little sadhanas. We struggle to maintain our health, maintain our food relation. कितना थर्ड रेट है जिंदगी ना. मैं अपना बोल रहा हूँ. You may be great Mahatmas, may it be so. But what a lowest pathetic condition we are. And still in the mind, only life lived for the worldliness in the upadhi. Not ejecting out of that. Not getting inspired for the higher achievements. We are talking about we who are regular from couple of years. Then what to talk about bechare who never exposed to. If some people are doing sadhana means वो पिछले जन्म से लेके आए. तो हमें ये सारे स्ट्रगल्स नहीं होना है अगले जन्म में का मतलब in this life we have to sort out all this nonsense. Let us keep that in mind. What for we are doing sadhana should always be remembered and should inspire us. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Irime Gurubhi Purvam पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. गुरुपुंगव पुंगव केतनते समतामयता नहि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सल तत्त्वनिधे भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणं ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तं ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति शांति एकता धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध सर्वेषां बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न निर्मूलन शक्ति साधनानां द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद अद्य शंकर भाषा समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठम नमाम्यहम प्रथमोध्याय शांति मंत्र ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ओम शांति 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 अथ संबंध भाष्यम सो ब्यूटिफुल दिस वन कि एकश्च सूर्यो बहुधा जलधारेषु दृश्यते. Okay, examples 6 we saw. Then the conclusion is Atma abhati paramatma api sarva upadishu samstitaha. One Paramatma appears to be many because of the upadhis. 1 minute consciously listen. Those upadhis because of which one Paramatma appears to be many, they are all nothing but Maya. Thus, if you give value to them, they are there. And through them, the Paramatma expresses conditioned. If you don't value them, they are not there. All upadhis are conceptual. They're all imaginary only. उपाधि कोई सत्य नहीं है. उपाधि जिस माया से बना है, माया सत्य नहीं है अल्टीमेटली ना. So therefore, what is upadhi? Rupa nama only. What is upadhi? A non-existing something which has some specific gunas that two are imaginary, imposes those gunas on the substratum. That's called upadhi. उपाधित्व का थोड़ा कॉन्टेम्पलेट करना आज होमवर्क में है ना. मायाकृत उपाधि कंडीशनिंग परमात्मा. What we miss generally is there is something reality Maya and it created some upadhisu, then it is binding self. You understood? Upadhi themselves are concepts. They are not real. But they are taken as real. Through them the Atma becomes bound, appears to be bound. So, Atma pi, Abhati Paramatma pi Sarvopadishu Samstitaha. Because of the upadhis, Atma appears to be many. Above examples. Basic last one was one Surya appearing to be many in so many patras. So too, one Paramatma only appearing to be many because so many upadhis. Yesterday we listed to you, isn't it? From Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara up to Manushya, Pashu, Pakshi, Vanaspati, all of them are Maya Krita Upadhis, because of which Paramatma alone is appearing so many forms. What we are saying is Paramatma. What we are also is Paramatma. But then through Upadhi. Therefore, उपाधि के रूप में ही परमात्मा को देख रहे We see the world with yellow goggles. The world appears yellow. Red, red. We are seeing world only, but through the upadhis. Therefore, different colors through the goggles. We are seeing Paramatma only, but through the upadhi. Keep it in mind. Then, Dvaita Bhrantir Avidyakhya Vikalpo na cha tattatha. See? Dvaita Bhranti Avidyakhya Vikalpaha na cha tattatha. The manyness is only avidya, kruta, vikalpa, and then given reality. That time it is called भ्रांति. एक परमात्मा का विद्या नहीं होना ही अविद्या है. उस परमात्मा में अनेकता को आरोपण करना ही विकल्प है. उस विकल्प को सत्य मानना ही भ्रांति है. अविद्या विकल्प भ्रांति. अविद्या विकल्प भ्रांति. The gold is one, not known is avidya. Imagining manyness in the gold because of the rupanama called as abharanas, vikalpa. Then taking the ornaments to be real, bhranti. Upadhi is in our acceptance, isn't it? Like the ornamentation is in our acceptance. That is not there in the gold. Gold is always gold only, isn't it? Gold is of this form and this name, and it can be put at this part of the sharira as an ornament. Gold is not saying so. Neither the ornament is saying. Ornamentation. It's our mind only projecting, isn't it? Eternally, the gold is gold only. Eternally, there is never ornamentation in it. But it we who give that ornamentation a value and a utility, then we forget as if the gold. Natat tatha, that is important. Nachatat tatha. Dvaita bhranti avidyaropa vikalpaha nachatat tatha. Because of avidya, there is vikalpa and vikalpa taken as real, called as bhranti, but actually ऐसी बात नहीं है. Okay? Now, paratra bandha ga, these shlokas are very important. We'll just go through quickly. Paratra bandha garah syat तेषाम् आत्माभिमानिनाम् आत्मभावनया भ्रान्त्या देहं भावयतां सदा. So आत्मभावनया भ्रान्त्या देहं भावयतां sada. Sada always with atma bhavana bhranti. Atma bhavana bhranti. When we take deha as atma to such person, while living anyway, he is suffering the limitations of deha. But even after leaving the body also, paratra also, bandha agaraha syat. It will be bondage. Why? Because deha upadita adatmi say he lived the life, lived. That created lot of prarabdha. Therefore, again he will be given a sharira only. That's called as parasya bandha agaraha. Even subsequent lives also, he will be bound to the deha. So paratra bandha paratra means in the next life. Bandha agaraha, it becomes the cause of the bandha. What it is? Tesham Atma Abhimaninam. We have got the Abhimana with this Atma. Here Atma is Sharira. So Atma Bhavanaya Bhrantya Deham Bhavayatam Sada. With the Bhranti, those who take the Deha as Atma. With the Bhranti, those who take the Deha as Atma. With the delusion, those who take the body as self, forgetting the self, living the life Dehosmi, they are only Paratra also, Bandhagaraha, for subsequent lives also. They are sowing the seeds for the definite bondage. And remember, the bondage starts with the Deha Prapti. And you can't avoid when Vasanas are there. So staying in the Deha, living as a Jiva, for the knowing of the self without identifying with the dehadi are the things we have to start living at the level. At this level we have to live. खींचना पड़ता है हमको उस लेवल से. That's called tapasya. That's called the very hardest thing. उसी को साधना कहते. तपस्या ही साधना. And the tapasya is a hardship. The hardship is to pull ourselves from the lower lifestyle to the suitable to the higher. Okay, now this Sula Deha, then it has to be supported by Sukshma Deha, बिना उसका तो चलता नहीं. And दोनों को तीसरा कारण देह का सपोर्ट चाहिए ही. Because of these three dehas, in the three avasthas, as the jiva with the three identities, we are living. Whereas we are something other than these three. We are the Turiya Atma as per our exhaustive studied Mandukya Upanishad. For that Mandukya Upanishad and Karikas, these Puranas appear to be, not Upanishad but mainly Karika. Upanishad appear to be Puranas appear to be the source. In this Brahma Purana, in the next portion, this is what is said. What it is? Ki apragnyamadhi madhyantaihi brahma भूतैः त्रिभिः सदा जाग्रस्वप्न सुषुप्तैस्तु छादितं विश्वतैजसम्. Isn't it? Brahmabhutaihi, delusion created, trivihi, the three shariras of Stula Sukshma Karana, Jakara Swapna Sushuptaihi, in these three avasthas of Jakara Swapna Sushupti, Vishwa Tayesam Apragnyam Adi Chaditam. As a Vishwa, as a Taijasa, as a Pragna, while living so, like that, the real self is Achaditam, is hidden or covered. That's why I said these quotations given by Shankara are not less or ordinary, the highest. मांडुक्य उपनिषद सीधा आ गया इधर. And luckily our introduction today, common sense thought, तो यही हो गया, same almost. Stula Deha, this one. Sukshma Deha, inside us. The 17 things. Mind and intellect, 5 pranas, 5 jnanendriya, 5 karmendriya. Then the Karana Deha, the avidya of the self and the vasanas there. So we only are holding on to them. Brahmabhutaihi trivihi. Because of these three avasthas. Stula deha se jagrat, sukshma deha se swapna, karana deha se sushupti. And in jagrat avastha we are Vishwa, in swapna avastha we are Tejasa, in sushupti avastha we are the Prajna. Put together is Jiva. Who are actually, whole thing is this one. We are that pure conscious self. Who is in and through all these three avasthas? Who is the substratum of all these three avasthas? Who is the cause of all these three avasthas? Who is the witness of arrival and going of all these three avasthas, yet not touched by any of these three? This Siddhanta Jnana should be pakka. Then what is sadhana, sir? The understanding अलग होता है, साधना अलग होता है. Understanding क्या है कि when you transcend these three avasthas, you realize the self. This is understanding. When I transcend these three avasthas, these three identities of Vishwatayasa Prajna, born out of these three upadhi of Stula Sukshma Karana, I realize the self. Theory ये है, but practical क्या है ना? Focus on the self. Obviously, we are transcending these three. समझने के लिए हमको वैसा कहना पड़ता है गुरु को शिष्य से, बेटा तुम तीनों में फंसे हो ना, या इसलिए यू आर नॉट गेटिंग आत्मानुभूति. गुरु जी क्या करें कि इन तीनों को पार करो तो आत्मानुभव होता है. दिस इज सिद्धांत. बट इन साधना, इन द एफर्ट ऑफ इन तीनों को पार करो, itself the strengthening of the तीनों, that is the trick we have to understand. When I try to go beyond Jagra Swapna Sushupti, that effort itself binds me to Jagra Swapna Sushupti. Vichitra. Like, I don't know how much this example fits. Whatever you tell the children, that is the only thing they don't do. विचित्र है. पढ़ो बोले तो नहीं पढ़ेगा वो, बस खेलेगा ही, टीवी देखेगा. और द अदर फेलो स्टडिंग सो मच, उसको बोलो बेटा पढ़ो मत, थोड़ा देर टीवी देखो या खेल के आओ. नहीं जाऊंगा मैं. ये बच्चे जैसे होते हैं उल्टा ना, ये भी ऐसा ही है. इफ यू ट्राई टू रिमूव देम, दे stay more strongly. Everything like anger, try to remove anger, it will not go. Jealousy, it will not go. Greed, it will not go. Isn't it? Instead of anger, the opposite of it. When you bring the forgiveness or love, then the anger automatically goes away. So, instead of jealousy, when you learn the art of appreciating others in their success, jealousy का जगह नहीं होता. So too, if you are sharing water with others, the greed, lobha automatically चला जाता. Remember always, the negatives are because of absence of positive. Therefore, when you bring the positive, negatives go away. Like the darkness is absence of light. By itself, nothing is there like darkness. So bring the light, the darkness goes. Without bringing the light, you can never remove darkness. In the same way, even though Siddhanta wise transcend the three upadhis, Sura Sukshma Karana, thus transcend the three avasthas, Jagra Swapna Sushupti, thus transcend the three vyaktitas of Vishwadesa Prajna, then you are Turiya Atma. This is theory. But practically, ये तीनों को जो स्ट्रेंथन करते हैं, उनको छोड़ते हुए द तुरीय आत्मा का अभ्यास हमको ज्यादा करना. दैट इज वाई अन्वय व्यतिरेक दोनों दिए जाते. डिपेंडिंग ऑन द मूड एंड रिक्वायरमेंट, वी हैव टू डू द अन्वय एंड व्यतिरेक. When the mind is already calm, quiet, we have to do the Anvaya sadhana there. When the mind is very disturbed, agitated, we have to do the Vyatireka sadhana of rejecting this. The trick we have to learn. All of us, who does it, who is fully convinced about the spiritual goal. The one has put on his head hundreds of jobs outside in the world and thousands of desires in the mind and lakhs of वहम in the mind. उसके दिमाग में है कहाँ परमात्मा का लक्ष्य? बस कभी सुना है गफलत से by mistake कोई सत्संग. Like some people come to some spiritual camps for 5 days. In those 5 days, they come to all programs, आरती, गंगा आरती, सब. उसका जिंदगी भर नहीं दिखते वो लोग. They are in the worldliness 100%. और 5 दिन के लिए कैंप में है. एक बार 4 धाम यात्रा साथ में आए, एक बार कैलाश यात्रा साथ में आए, एक बार 12 ज्योतिर्लिंग साथ में आए, एक दिन क्लास सुना और एक टेक्स्ट सुना और एक दिन मिलने आए बाबा जी को. इससे साधना नहीं होता. Clearly the goal is in mind. The one who has got, he alone knows this and does this. So Atmanusandhana is very important. We are lucky in the evening we started Adi Shankara's literature. Every one of them will come. See, first thing Advaita Anubhuti, Advaita Atma is being taught. Next one is Anatma Shri Vigarhanam. Advaita Anubhuti में अन्वय साधना, उसमें व्यतिरिक्त साधना दिखाएंगे अनात्मा श्री विकरण. आत्मानुसंधान स्तोत्रास वेलकम. एक के बाद एक हम लगाएंगे. आई एम तो इंस्पायर्ड बाबा, मजा आया कल. 7-8 श्लोकास कवर्ड. So achaditam, understood no? The real self is hidden by these three. In spirituality, when the real self is hidden by these three, when these three are removed, then the real self reveals. ऐसा भावना होता है, लेकिन the actual thing is you can realize the self in the effort of which these three get automatically चले जाते. लाइक इन ए सिनेमा हीरो कभी कभी साइड विलन्स को मारता है, वो देखकर मेन विलन डरता है. कभी कभी मेल भी उनको मारता है, वो देखकर बाकी भाग जाते हैं। स्पिरिचुअलिटी में यही है, अनात्मोपाधि, when you keep away, atma starts becoming prasputam. Atma sadhana we keep doing, the anatma upadhyatma goes away. दोनों करना है. Now next one देखो, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट विच वी आर टॉकिंग इन द मॉर्निंग वेरी विगरसली, कि स्वमायया स्वमात्मानं मोहयेत द्वैत रूपया गुहागतं स्वमात्मानं लभते च स्वयं हरिम. ये है स्वमायया, it is by my own maya, samatmanam, I myself, mohayet dvaita rupaya, delude myself with this dvaita. Means I am one only, I only project the world. In the projected world is one, is upadhi, and with that I get identified. This called as, after that I am different, world is different, and I have all the desires, etc. for the world. This called as dvaita. I am deluded in this by my own maya. स्वमाया स्वमात्मानं मोहेत द्वैत रूपया. Solution: गुहागतं स्वमात्मानं लभते च स्वयं हरि. That Jiva by his own efforts, the Hari, the Atman, who is there in his own Hridaya Gufa, he will find and get liberated. See that whole Aitareya Upanishad. Pratamam Janma, Dvitiyam Janma, Trutiyam Janma. Then, having lived for some time in the Upadhis, suddenly one day by Guru Krupa he gets a thought. What are all these Upadhis? What I am going through with all of them? In that inquiry, he discovers himself. After saying that only, Vamadevaji's example was given. So, just shake our heads little bit. Remove the dirt, dust of Tamoguna and Rajoguna. Make it calm. Catch this point. I, with my own Maya, created the world and got identified with one set of Upadhi and playing the miserable game of Dvaita. I myself, going into the cave of my own heart, have to discover Samatmanam Harim, which is one without second. Therefore, there is no samsara. ये बेसिक पॉइंट जिस दिन घुस गया दिमाग में, all our scriptural studies becoming fruitful. In the cave of my heart, my real self beyond all these upadhis is there. I have to identify with that. Then there is moksha from all these layers. If I don't do that, with any of these Panchakosha Upadhi or Three Deha Upadhi, through that, with anything or being of the world, I will be entangled only. Again for this, avidya, vasana, habits, they are the causes. उसको निकालते रहना पड़ेगा, वो भी नहीं भूलना फिर से. Avidya is removed by the Vidya Atma Jnana. Vasanas are removed by our Karma Yoga Bhakti Yoga. Habits have to be changed by the discipline received from the Guru. वो भी भूलना मत, वो साधना ये करना है ये हृदय में जाने के लिए. समाया समात्मानम मोहेत द्वैत रूपया, देन गुहागतम समात्मानम लभते च स्वयं हरि. अब हमको पहले वाला हमने कर लिया. We have deluded ourselves with the Dvaita. One word use करते हैं Dvaita, you must understand everything. Self projected many, in that one is this, like dream. In dream we project the whole world. Among that one projected, one individuality we identify. Then we become the bhokta of the dream world. Then we suffer the raga dveshadi there. Here also, I am different from the world, I am different from the God, I am this upadhi yukta, these limited upadhis are me. This is called as Dvaita Rupaya. I am deluding myself. What is to be done? Guham. गुहागतम स्वमात्मानम लभते. गुहा में जो है स्व आत्मा, उसको लभते जो है स्वयं हरिम. Now the next shloka is very very important. मांडुक्य उपनिषद कारिका. I just now know कारिका कार ने यहाँ से ही लिया होगा. One mantra only we study today. कि व्योमनि वज्रानलज्वाला कलापो विविधा कृतिः आभाति विष्णोः सृष्टिश्च स्वभावो द्वैतविस्तरः. Vyomni, in the Akasha, Vajranala Jwala Kalapaha. So Vajra means Vajranala Jwala Kalapaha, the appearance of the lightning. विविधाकृति in different shapes. बरखा के मौसम में आप देखोगे कितना वो लाइटनिंग होता है डिफरेंट शेप्स में. कलर्स भी समय रेड दिखता है, ब्लूइश दिखता है, ग्रीनिश दिखता है, वाइट दिखता है, पर्पल दिखता है, पिंकिश दिखता है. There are some countries the lightnings are always in bluish color and all. वहाँ का एटमॉस्फेयर ऐसा है. So वज्र in the व्योमनी आकाश में वज्र अनल ज्वाला कलापः विविधा आकृति just comes in the space and disappears in the space. In the same way, Abhati Vishnoho Srushtischa. So too, on Vishnu, the Paramatma, like Vyoma, Sarvayapaka, the lightning named up Srushti, Abhati, in Vividha Akriti, only to disappear. And how is it so? Swabhavaha Dvaita Vistaraha. This is a crucial point, which we have so beautifully studied in our Mandukya Upanishad in the Agama Prakarana only. Swabhavo Dvaita Vistaraha. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 schools of philosophy talking about the Srushti, which we also use those thoughts, having talked about all of that. Lastly, Karikakara tells his opinion about the Srushti. The great sentence, if you remember that, he says, um, अस्य स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा. देवशेष स्वभावोऽयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा. देवशेषः अयं स्वभावः. Same word used here, swabhava. Means what? Don't attribute any reasons for the Lord's creation of this world. There people talk different things. Bhagavan is wanting to become many, therefore he created world. He wanted to show his powers, therefore he created world. He wanted to enjoy the world, therefore he created. He just wanted to play in the world, therefore he has created. So bhogartham, kridartham, then to express his powers and to become many. These are the various reasons because of which Paramatma manifested as the Srishti. There Karikakara so subtly says, भैया ये सब में उस परमात्मा में ना कोई पर्पस एट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हो. Wherever purpose comes, it's samsara. Purpose is there for the one who has got limitations. That's why he says apta kamasya. The one who is fulfilled in himself, kasproha, how can there be any purpose? Then what is Srishti? I am Swabhavaha. Just it is Swabhava, that's all. Jada socho mat. Your dimag unnecessarily unwanted thoughts se bhar jata. How true is this highest sentence? That's why the wife is intelligent. She understands, inka swabhav hai, even God cannot change him. Then she accepts and then finds her own techniques. How to get benefit of his swabhav, out of his swabhav. गुस्से वाला है तो कैसे उसका फायदा उठाए, प्रेम वाला है तो कैसे, डिटैच्ड वाला है तो कैसे. शी डेवलप्स अ डिफरेंट आर्ट ऑफ हाउ टू मेक यूज ऑफ हिज मूड, बट बेसिकली शी एक्सेप्ट्स आई एम स्वभाव. हियर सेम इज स्वभावम द्वैत विस्तरः. So from Paramatma it is Swabhava. Don't attribute any purposes for Paramatma to express. But for us, this Dvaita is cause of bondage. Therefore, we have to come out of it to go into the Atman. So what is the Sara of this? Therefore, even though you are living vigorously the life outside, even though hundreds of Shastras you are studying in which lots of things are explained, yet remember the focus should be on Paramatma. not much on any of the Dvaita. वही हम पहले भी कह रहे थे, 3 अवस्थाओं को दूर करने का कोशिश मत करो, चौथे में प्रवेश करने का कोशिश, उसमें ये 3 ऑटोमेटिक चले जाते. Involve in positive values, negative go away. Involve in Sataguna Lakshana activity, Rajotamo automatically goes away. Involve in the Atma Drushti, the Jiva with all his Upadhi automatically goes away. Like 1 hour you come to the class, automatically samsara has gone away. The remaining 23 hours you go to the world, automatically some sadhana goes away. What effort you have to put to come out of this mood of satsang? Frustrating. Nothing. You just enter into the world, khatam ho jata. So to what to do to come out of the samsaric mood? Nothing. Come and sit in the class. As simple as this, if you can understand and make it. You need too much of thinking is ego, mind, manipulating. Like politicians. बोलते हैं, चिल्लाते हैं, इसका ऊपर उसको कीचड़ फेंकते हैं. ये सब बकवास है. If you are देशभक्त, see the projects what are to be done. Focus on that. Is there anything to talk at all? One fellow is barking out of कुंदक jealousy कि उसको ना पावर नहीं मिल रहा है, और दूसरा बंदा उसके वो बार करता है डर के मारे कि मेरा पावर जाएगा. And we all बेवकूफ watch the TV. You have to go on doing. There's nothing to be talked in this world. But we go on talking, and that becomes important. Then from that, the jealousies, the angers, with different topics come. Ab dekho, if you see this political rivalry and the things they are said, everybody is justifying their points. Sometimes I am worried also about Prime Minister. I don't know at my level, I am saying. Some place he did not react. He just show, this is what I have done, other things I will do. And the job of telling negative about all the opposition, छोटे लोगों को देना चाहिए. Don't bring your dignity down. That is why you should have a spokesperson, perfect. He should be given his only job of finding faults with all opposition right from the inception of it in 1805 or 1895 or 1905. He should not come down. Because things become serious and diverted, tilted from the main goal. यहाँ भी स्वभाव, तो द्वैत हमको बांध रहा है थ्रू अद्वैत अनुभूति. वी हैव टू कम आउट ऑफ द्वैत, एंड दिस होल द्वैत इज ईश्वर स्वभाव. सी हाउ सिंपल इट इज. These are the like प्रारब्धवाद, कर्म, they all lighten the life. मैंने पाप किया इसलिए दुख हो रहा है, वो क्या करे. अब पुण्य करता हूँ तो सुख मिलेगा. Focus on that. Instead of that, you worried why this fellow insulted me, why they are leaving me, why did they value me. अरे ये worry से आंसर नहीं होता, दिमाग लगा. That was your past prarabdha work, it is coming as a result. सुख हो या दुख हो. Make life simple. Make spiritual sadhana easier. That maturity may God bless us with very soon. Then next one, Shante manasi shantascha ghore mudhe chata drushaha ishvaro drishyate nityam sarvatra natu tattvadah. Depending on the Shanta and Ghora and Mudha Antakarnas, the Ishvara appearing to be like that, but he himself is not any one of them. Shanta is Sattvic, Ghora is Rajasic, Mudha is Tamasic. So through Paramatma, through the Shanta, he appears as Devatas. Through the Ghora, appears as human beings, Rajoguna. Through the Mudha, he appears as animals. In the human life, when we are in the Shanta Vritti, the Devatatva expresses through us. When we are in the Ghora Vritti, the natural human being of Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha expresses. When there is Tamo Guna in us, we behave like animals. Paramatma only because of these traits. That's what is said here in the election. Then he gives some examples. So beautiful they are all. It goes on for some more things. Then we start Vishnu Dharma Purana quotations also. May this study become fruitful in giving us clear knowledge of what to achieve and what to do for that. Om, 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 Om. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। धन्यवाद संतो। गॉड ब्लेस यू।